Hey, welcome back to QuiltingCowboy.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I got a lot of fun things to talk about, mostly complain about today. Come on, I usually try and keep things pretty positive and upbeat, but there are some times you're like, really, like, the manufacturers of things that we love to use, I think often have never sewn a day in their life. Because you're like, there is no thought that went behind this, otherwise to use it in a utilitarian fashion, like, it doesn't work. So today, I'm just gonna get it all out and talk about my pet peeves, because there are a few things, like, really, you need to do better. And it's not asking too much in order to have the products that are made for us as quilters actually be functional and work properly. So, to the manufacturers of all the quilt products out there, this is for you. All right, so I'll try not to be too bitchy. I'll just keep it helpful. All right, this is helpful. This is very helpful. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. All right, so my first pet peeve is large rulers that are, in fact, super slippery. Right? I mean, when you're trying to cut along the side of it, wouldn't it be helpful if it had either some kind of texture or something to the back of it, either a silicone, sheet or something that gave it a little bit of stick, right? Like my hand does, right? With my fingerprints, that doesn't move, but it doesn't. It's super slippery plastic on both sides. That's not helpful. So what I will do on occasion is actually just use a little bit of light spray, super light. Don't use too much, so like a 505 or something like that, so that when you put the ruler down and you're cutting along the side of it, it doesn't slip. Because what happens on a long run, right? It slips by the time you get to the end if you're really not paying attention to it. Now I know that you should be doing, but at the same time, can you help us out? Because I can't tell you how many times, like, I just, for whatever reason, get about 3/4 of the way through and it starts to move, right? We've all had that happen to us. So, manufacturers of rulers, get it together. One side should either have a really light kind of sandpaper kind of traction to it throughout, and I'm sure you can figure out a way to embed it into the plastic that doesn't change its visibility, or, actually have some type of, like I said, silicone or other type of rubber product on the back side so this sucker isn't slipping when you're trying to cut it. Okay? All right, so that's the first thing. Same for the template, right? On the mid-arm, when you're using them, they just slip all over the place. And I'm going to do a whole section on the mid-arm. So, HQ Sweet 16, I'm coming for you in a second. Hold on now. Okay, so then the next one is, come on, thread people. What are you thinking? Seriously, you're going to put the color of the thread on the thread on a sticker. That's what you've come up with? That's your solution? I mean, the stickers come off because you have to actually puncture this sucker in order to put it on the machine. Like, why is the color that I'm using not stamped into this plastic? Like, it's like mind-boggling to me. Like, thread people, do you hate us? Like, come on. Like, it's not that hard. Stamp the color into the plastic. Don't put it on a stupid little sticker that comes off and is gone by the time you're like halfway through, and then you're running back to the fabric store trying to match it, right? Oh, is it this color? Is it this? Come on, help us out. Like, that is so frustrating when you're trying to, like, figure out what color it is and the sticker's gone and you don't know, like, where it came from, what brand it is. Come on, do better. Aurifil, they're doing a much better job in that you don't actually have to puncture their sticker in order to make it work, right? Because their sticker actually already has a circle cut into the bottom of it. But still, it's a sticker. It comes off. This is not good enough. You need to stamp it. Look, see all this plastic right here? Little stamp, right? Just right in there, brand it. You'll be good to go. I mean, it's so frustrating, right? And I'm sure we've all experienced that. All right. Pin cushions. So first of all, why are there no kind of pin cushions that are either up to date or appropriate for men? Really? Like, because you're missing out a whole community, and so like if any of you manufacturers want to, you know, develop a Quilting Cowboy accessories line, call me. Just an idea I had, I don't know, maybe we could work it out. But no, but seriously, it's so frustrating when I go to the you know, fabric store trying to find accessories that I can even bring myself to use, and it's just so depressing because it's all girly and it's all stupid and it's all cheap. You know what I mean? Like, do better, step it up. Like, this is what I got to work with, this little thing that slides around on this other plastic thing. Like, really? That's the best we can do? Really? Because this is the only one that I found that was somewhat appropriate for a guy to wear that didn't look totally stupid. So, what's up with this? You can do better. If you won't, I will. All right, next. Marking, invisible ink marking pens. Disaster. Disaster, disaster, disaster. I can't tell you how many quilts I've kind of quote unquote ruined by using this stuff. Almost said it, didn't I? Because it shows up. Like, months down the road, you're like, oh, I think I'm good to go. And then you're like, what is that on my quilt? And it's still there. And it's got this yellow little, like, you know, ghost mark. That, you cannot market this product as disappearing ink when it doesn't fully disappear forever. No, it comes back. It will haunt you. So that's got to go. And then flower head pins. I specifically went to the Clover booth when I was at Quilt Market last time and asked them if they had the ultra fine flower head pins that they used to carry. They don't carry it anymore. What the hell? Ultra fine. I mean, it is a gauge of pin that is necessary for our work, and they're impossible to find. Like, did you discontinue them? Do you not think that that's important? Like, so, like, why are you, like, keeping all these things that used to be great out of the stores? I can't find them anywhere, okay? Ultra fine. It is a gauge of pin that you that I prefer to work with because it slides through the fabric much easier, right? And in those few instances where you do have to sew over a pin, I know, you know, it's much easier for it to go through the machine, okay? So what happened to those? It's really important that these are readily available, and you discontinued them? I mean, I don't know, that makes me crazy. Next, irons. What the hell? I mean, look how much I'm sweating right now just by giving this talk. I live in Palm Springs. My studio, they do the best that we can with the air conditioning, but holy man. I mean, I usually have 2 of these guys going at any given time, and it's like working in a sauna. Surely there is an Insta-Hot version that we can come up with so you don't have these guys sitting in the corner just heating up your whole studio this whole time while you're working, because it is hot. I mean, like, ridiculous. And we're all just sweating like crazy trying to get our work done because we have these little guys just heating up the whole place like little, you know, heaters. You can see I needed to get this out of my system. All right, next. Oh, these. Come on. Are you kidding me? The weight gauge of your sewing pedal, I can move up and down with 1 finger? Are you kidding me? This doesn't even weigh a pound. And it's like, you got all your work and you're like, okay, I've got it all carefully pinned. I'm like ready to go over to the sewing machine. Okay, it's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect. And I'm ready to sit down to do my project and sit down with the machine. And here we go. And where's the damn pedal? And I'm like tap dancing under the table, trying to find the thing, and when I finally find it, it's facing the wrong way or whatever. It's like ridiculous. Like, these things need to be, sorry to be going off. Clearly I've been holding this in for a while. But this needs to be 5 to 10 pounds minimum, and it should not be able to flip over. In fact, it's to the point now where the solution I've come up with is that I don't even use it this way anymore. I just put it on its back like this and use it like this because I'm so tired of like kicking it around and like, oh, where the freak is it? Like, oh my God, because I can't see it because it's under my table and I'm holding a quilt. Oh my God, this gotta be easier. And so I'll show you on my Sweet 16, at least what I've come up with in order to try and mitigate that. So here we are under my Sweet 16. And so I've had to put a box of books that's super heavy right here and try and wedge the pedal between the foot of my Sweet 16 and this box so that I'm not always trying to hunt for it, or if I do like get it disengaged, it's like, oh, hold on, I got it. No, it's okay. Hold on, one more second. Come on! You should see how much I'm sweating now. It's ridiculous. Like I said, the studios are just always hot. Whew, it's too much. So, anyways, going on. Next thing, for the Sweet 16. Guys, what are you thinking with this little bump right here? I have, oh, excuse me, I'll just get the fabric. One more second. Maybe I'll try it from this angle. Oh, nope, how about over here? Oh, okay, so we'll just, okay, well, I'll get to it. I can get to the needle. I promise I can. Just give me one more second. Do you hate us? That can't be. This little bump right here is the constant source of consternation. This cannot be. You cannot have this lifted above the weight of the size of the table. If anything, it needs to be flat or slightly just the tiniest bit lower so that you can get the fabric, right, and the ruler over there so that I can actually do it. I don't know what you'd be able to, have you never sewn before on your own machines? And then secondly, this sharp ridge right here on the table, right? When you have a quilt and you're trying to get it and it's all over here, right? This sharp edge, and I know you have a fix for this on your line, online, because I've seen it, so you know that it's a problem, but why make it that way in the first place? Seriously, I mean, when you're trying to pull a whole quilt and it gets caught on this sharp ridge right here, I'm constantly fighting against it, and it's a problem. Your table is not awesome, okay? And then secondly, beyond that, your winder, your bobbin winder here, right? It doesn't have an on and off switch. What? It's just constantly on? I mean, so what then I have to do is see this cord here, right? I have to take the cord out so that this little green light doesn't stay on all the time, and I have to wrap it around this in order to try and not lose it back behind there, because if I lose it back behind there, I gotta put everything down, I gotta go chasing for it and put it back in. So then I have this lovely organizational mess, right? This little science project that's going on here on my table. Why is there no on and off switch? I know there's a start and stop, but I don't want this little green light to burn out, right? So I'm always trying to unplug it and, oh look, oh that was great. Apparently it has feet on it that will leave a black mark streaking across your table if you in fact, look at this, I just shoved it back. So the little black feet on it have now made a big mark on my table. Guys, you gotta help us out. I mean, we're giving you a lot of money. It took me probably close to 2 years to pay this off, okay? It was upwards of $5,000 for this machine. For that amount of money, you guys need to be doing better. So, like, anyhow, I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest. If any of you manufacturers or makers of these products want to have a conversation about this, I'm more than happy to give you additional feedback. And I'm sorry, I try and keep my posts generally upbeat and positive, but at some point, like, we need to be expecting better from the people who are making things for us, right? So anyways, that was the rant for today. I'm sure you've had additional experiences, and I would love to hear your personal frustrations because, I mean, I am more than happy to compile these and actually start a conversation with the manufacturers to see if we can't get them doing better for us, okay? So feel free, as always, to email me at quiltingcowboy@gmail.com. And I don't know if this was helpful, but I sure feel a whole lot better. Thanks again for tuning in, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I really, really need additional followers and people to subscribe to the channel in order to move forward with my business model. All right, thank you so much. Bye.